Well, the recent push for Hollywood to be more inclusive has led to many changes over the last few years.
There's a new documentary that focuses on one segment of the population Hollywood is working to represent better: people with physical challenges. Here's KCAL 9's Sandra Mitchell with Jane Seymour.
A film which cost MGM nearly $2 million to produce, an extravagant amount for its time, became quite possibly the most well-known film associated with little people ever to be made, The Wizard of Oz.
Fascinating stuff, this new documentary about actors with physical challenges. It's called CinemAbility, the Art of Inclusion. And entertainment legend Jane Seymour, you just saw her, a big part of the documentary, here to talk about that. Welcome.
Thank you.
So I'm looking at the people who are included in this. It's just an
amazing
incredible
cast.
Right?
Absolutely. I mean, Jamie Foxx, Ben Affleck, Marley Matlin, Gina Davis, William Macy. I mean, there's a lot more. Jenny Gold she's the director of this, and she's been working on this for a very long time. She invited me to be part of it. I think we met originally through my friendship with Christopher Reeve, and I've been working a lot with people with paralysis. But it's just such an incredible documentary. It's also incredibly funny, but also, you know, it takes you right back to the silent era, all the way to the present day, and how cinema, media, streaming, TV, film, whatever you want to call it, how it impacts us as a public in terms of you know, how it depicts disabilities.
Right, and we have come a long way in that department. And by looking at that, I think that's the realization we get in this documentary.
Exactly, and also the inclusion in shows now. And mercifully, you know, I think more and more of that is happening. And of course, it's even more wonderful when they're able to cast actors who actually have those disabilities. I mean, there are some great actors who are in chairs or who have, you know, disabilities, and they can play that very well.
So you narrate this, Jane, but you also share your story. You mentioned Christopher Reeve, who was a dear friend of yours. How did that affect you, his accident?
Enormously. I mean, we made a film together a long time ago called Somewhere in Time, and we remained friends. And after he had his accident, I asked him, I said, what can I do to help you? And he said, help all the others that I left behind in the rehab. He said, because their insurance providers have left them, their families have left them, and they, you know, and nobody's doing anything to support spinal regeneration and to help these people. So I really got to know people with disabilities a lot better through him. Jesse Billow, who's here locally, who runs an organization called Life Rolls On. I've worked with Global Mobility, which is an organization that provides wheelchairs for people with cerebral palsy and other things all over the world. So it's become, you know, thanks to Chris and thanks to people like Jenny Gold and Jesse, you know, you don't think about it till it happens. And I've met people, you know, beautiful young girls who, you know, are artists, or like Christopher Reeve, you know, he played the most beautiful piano, and just suddenly, like that, your life has changed. But what's so great about this documentary is you see how people are now included in today's media. I mean,
so there are more opportunities.
I think there are more opportunities. There should obviously be more, but, you know, it's sort of like a community that hasn't always been depicted the right way, or has been used in an interesting but not necessarily inclusive kind of way. And I think that's what the documentary shows, is how it's been in the past and what's happening now and what we can do in the future.
Yeah, it really is inspiring when you talk about what we can do in the future. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Here. All right. The documentary, it's called CinemAbility, the Art of Inclusion. It's available right now on iTunes, Google Play, and on Amazon. Jane Seymour is narrating, also sharing her story. We've got all the info on our website, kcal9.com.